This is a demonstration of the first released version of attendance management in post-secondary inside Village. This main screen has a sidebar if the screen is big enough. If the screen is not big enough, and I can simulate that by zooming in one notch, you'll get the links that are in the hamburger menu on the main screen. But for this demonstration, I'm going to back up a little bit so we can see a bit more screen. We're going to sign in, and then I'm going to hide the names. The hide name feature is available to all users in the system in case you have to do demonstrations. The hide names reloads the page and hides all of the people. So under the post-secondary, we'll go to attendance, and in attendance we have the indicator of when it was last loaded from the source system, and then we have read-only or edit, and we have selecting by class or student. We have a selector of which campus, and as we choose this, it'll change the classes available. Right now we'll stay with that, and I'll move to this class. Normally in this list, if you don't hide the names, you'll have the teacher name on the side. But we'll choose this class and it'll load it up, and it'll scroll, because this class is in session right now, it'll scroll to today. For classes that are not in session, it won't scroll over because it won't know where to take it, but it scrolls over to today, and you can see that this student doesn't normally be a student name. It has been marked late today at 6 p.m. But if we move over to the left, you'll see the number of days enrolled, the number of absences, the number of lates, and the number of excused absences. The number of days enrolled is student-based. It's if a student starts later, this number might be a 38 or 35 or whatever. And you'll see that you just have the indicators here because we're in read-only mode. If I want to move to edit mode so that we can play with that, it once again will scroll over to today and we can make some changes. So this student was marked late, so I can mark that student present by unchecking the late. If I choose absent, and I need to undo that, I can, if the student shows up, I can switch to late. I can turn it off by going to late, and so on. I'm going to use one of these days over here, and I want to go to the more. The reason I'm using it here is because when I'm working on this screen, you can see the effect over here. So, for example, this student now, normally you'd have a student name up here. This class runs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but it's on a Sunday. It's not today. So, on the absence, it does the same thing, saves the absence on the main screen. If I click on the excused, it saves it as in the absent area, but marks it as E for excused. And if I switch to late, I have the option of including the time that the student returned. So by default, because I'm not in between the start time and the end time, I am in that day, but it's not Sunday, March 17th right now. It chooses 5 minutes after the start of the class. But we can make a change to that. This thing moves, you move the hour first and then the minute, and make sure you click done. And that then saves. You're getting these little success badges down at the bottom. If I choose a time that is out of range, like that 8:26, you'll see that I get a warning. That time doesn't make sense with the recorded time for the class session. However, that's not going to keep it from saving. I want to make sure that we can save. So it's a warning, but it's still letting us save that data. And of course we can say that there was a funeral or something like that, and here is a comment, and that gets saved. And that's pretty much it for the class attendance recording. We're going to hop over into the student view here. So now we can select a student, and I think the first one has quite a bit of data we can look at. Am I right? Yes. So once again, we get the class. We don't need the student name because we're on the student. That'll say the student name. And everything works the same on here, except it doesn't scroll across. Down at the bottom, these are all the classes in this semester. But down here we have the previous classes, and you can't edit the previous classes. That slash means the student wasn't enrolled on that day. They started late. You can't edit these classes from this window. You can change the semester to that semester and navigate to the class and make changes to the attendance on these classes. But this will give you the read-only version with the summaries for all of the classes. And that's pretty much it for this tool. Thank you.